Morning guys, welcome back to Alan's Allotment again. It's Sunday the 14th of November 2021 and I've appropriately got on my t-shirt with "I would rather be at the allotment" stamped on the front, that we got off my daughter-in-law for my birthday. And today I think Tony's coming through to give me a little bit of a hand in the garden, which is a bonus. So what we were going to aim for today, if we can, is to get Tony to lift all of those citrus trees out, if the weather stays right, and make a start on building the bench in there for me, so we can get them up on a height where they're one, out of water, and two, easy to maintain. And then we can start maybe even prepping a bed underneath it as well. And of course we will need to get some compost from somewhere for to fill that. But I've probably got about a quarter of a compost bin. We've filled the compost bin this year 4 times to the top and it sank down. So this is the first year of doing my own compost. So there's probably, underneath all of that greenery, when I throw it into the other bin, there's probably going to be somewhere about a quarter of a bin of hopefully usable compost. So that'll, well, I don't know whether to put all of that into the beds or whether to actually spread it over the top as a really good fortifier for the beds next year. Anyways, my goal today will be to get those sickly cabbages out of the netted grow bed and sow some rows of carrots. Then we'll probably move on and take 2 or 3 plants out of the brassica cage, a few cabbage, a few kale, and a couple of perpetual spinach and chard perhaps, and get them transplanted into the polytunnel and just see what happens. We won't take too many till I see how this process works first. I don't want to lose the plants altogether, so we'll just take a couple, see if they get established. If they do, we'll maybe take another couple next weekend or something like that. I've got the kettle on, all the birds are fed and watered, and I'm just about to have myself a cup of coffee, and then we're going to make a start. I'm just waiting for Tony to arrive, and then whatever we get done, we'll bring you along and show you what's happening. Right guys, it's now 11:35, Tony still isn't here, so I've had to make a start on the bench in the polytunnel myself. He has just called to say he's on his way, he got held up. So what I've done is I've brought all the citrus plants out. I've given them a bit of a haircut down to the sort of height I want them, and the tallest plant is 40 centimetres. And then I want at least 8 to 10 inches of growth room on that as well. So that equates to that. So this isn't going to be as good as I first thought. However, it still serves a purpose and gets them up from the membrane. As you can see, this membrane is still damp. Now that's a good thing for ground plants. Here's the phone now. This is probably Tony arriving. Right guys, we're highly on it today. We're going great guns at the moment. We've got our Tony turned up now. He finally got out of the traffic and he's here now. And as you can see, he's cracking on with doing the bench in the treehouse. And we're getting the main structure in here now, the main support. We will still be able to grow underneath. It's going to be not as ideal as we first thought, but we're thinking about how we can do this so I can lift the plants off, lift the mesh up and get in there to plant, put the mesh back down and the plants back on top. So yes, it's a little bit more work, but because we can only come to that height with the bench, it is a workable solution. And we can still grow salad crops that don't mind if they don't see too much heat, like lettuces and things like that. So we've got Tony on with that. Then we've got our Ty and our Leo have come to see us as well. So that's Tony's son, Ty, and they're just over there having a stroke of the chickens, because Ty has a chicken that's in there that's very friendly, that came from him, and it lets him pick it up and stroke it still. So they're over there stroking the chickens. And then we've got our Michelle hiding behind the strawberry patch, and we've made a start here now on this strawberry bed, cutting it all back. Now we only had 9 plants in here, but as you can see we've got about 900 now. I've took a load of runners off to plant up into the pot, so I've got what I need or what I want, because we don't want to overrun with strawberries, and we're just in the middle of finishing this bed off. working at a distance between us, and we're just going through these, cutting them all back ready for winter. Then we can get some wood chips on that bed, and then as they start to sprout up a bit more, we'll put some nice barley straw under there. We'll get these sides back down on the bed, and we'll just leave that as a strawberry bed. Just a quick update, guys. Right guys, so we're now at about 2:30 in the afternoon, and we've had a really productive day. Thanks to Michelle and Tony for coming along and making life easier. Tony on with one job, Shell on with the other one, and that let me get the other job done that I wanted to do, which was, we've now salvaged 4 of the cabbages out of here, 2 of the smallest kale, the ones that have been badly attacked. We give them a bit of wash down and transplanted them. We took 2 of the smallest perpetual spinach and 2 of the smallest rainbow chard, and stripped the bad leaves back off them, and we've planted them up in the polytunnel, which I'll show you in a minute. So Tony's just in here putting the finishing touches now to the bench, but this is the job that Michelle's done. As you can see in the strawberry beds when we started, it was like a jungle. She's now clipped all of these back, and from just 9 plants in there last year, and they were in clumps of 3, 3 and 3, it's now spread out all of these and filled the bed. We've also taken off loads of runners, which I need to get potted up. So that's another cracking job. These beds are put to sleep. We got the tree done yesterday, and that all done and weeded. We've still got this strawberry bed to deal with when I get round to it. We've got all the garlic planted in here yesterday, along with these little dwarf trees. And so Michelle just having a 5-minute rest since she'd been working hard. We've had Ty and Leo, they've been going round all round the edges, digging out the weeds for Granda and putting them into a bag, haven't you? Yeah. So they've been, yeah, that's a thumbs up. Hey, they've been going round pulling all the weeds down here for me. They've got 99% of those. We've still got a little tub of strawberries to pot up. Michelle's going to need to go now, and yeah, he's done up there as well, he's telling me. Yeah, and then Tony has got the bench in. He's just putting the kickboards in now for the bed at the bottom. Now, as I said earlier, guys, the bench is a little on the low side, but it's not a big deal. You can see we've still got plenty of light going down to the bed below, and I can easily water through this mesh. We haven't fixed the wire, which would have been better, and we wouldn't have got a bit of a sag with the weight of the pots. However, I'm not worried about that. They're certainly not going to fall through. We've got all the citrus trees back in here on the bench and pushed back, which ultimately gives me even more room than we ever had before. And it's 5 minutes to lift them outside, lift up the wire, plant the bed out, put it back down, and we can forget about it until they're ready for harvesting, and then it's the same job. But it just makes far more use of this polytunnel, and as you can see, we've still got, I could have actually went a bit higher with this with hindsight, but it's a nice level for watering, and we've got all the extra height in here to let these trees get to quite a substantial size, still being kept tidy and pushed back, and we've got all the bench space across the front for trays and things like that, seedling trays and what have you, once we start to plant some seeds. So we've got our Ty here listening attentively, and Leo's just helping Mummy put the final touches on that bed with his shavings. So it's a bit of a roundup for you guys. I'll give you a quick look at the polytunnel before we finish, and then we'll give you a final roundup. Right guys, Michelle's now gone with Leo. I'm getting a little bit cold for Leo, so she's took him home to go and get some tea on. And this is basically what I got done while they were doing their jobs. So we've got 2 kale in here now. 2 of the smallest kale. We fetched 2 rhubarb chard, 2 perpetual spinach. These are actually starting to bulb up now. These are the radish, so they'll be coming out shortly. And then we've got 4 of the little spring cabbages at the end there. You see the garlic's all coming along fine. Still 1 or 2 to sprout up off the red garlic, but yeah, everything pointing up, spouting up in here. Still got the two little red lettuces, we'll leave them, see how they come on. Still got these strawberries to pot up, and all the runners that we've taken off the Alsanta strawberry bed to pot up. Now we're fast running out of light now. I need a cup of coffee. Tony's going to have a cup of coffee with me. He's going to be making his way. And if I have enough light, we need to try and get some of these runners potted up. Right guys, we've just got enough light. Tony and Ty's also gone now. So I've got these runners that we salvaged from the Alsantas. Clipped these off. There was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, but we just salvaged these few. There's a bit more than I actually thought there was going to be. But I've managed to quickly throw these in pots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got 15 plants here. They may not all survive, but out of these I'm sure we will get something. So we've got them all planted up. The only thing to remember with planting strawberries is you must leave the crown above the surface, or they'll just rot back on you. I think we've got them more or less right with these. We'll know by next week what's put new growth on and what hasn't, and whether they've taken or died back on us. It isn't a big deal if they don't all survive, as long as we propagate some of those runners for next year. Just very, very quickly, in here we've now actually got the lettuces. These are the all year round lettuce. 1 or 2 starting to germinate. And here they're doing even better. These are the Lola Rossa red lettuce. Onions in the other side, which I wouldn't expect to start germinating just yet. We didn't get these fellas repotted. I haven't got the time or energy in here now, so these are going to have to wait. Yeah, they're still damp. They can wait till next weekend and we'll get them trimmed back, cut back and repotted as well. These are a different variety altogether. These are Summer Breeze, they call these ones. These are ones I bought in Morrison's this year, and I never ever got round to getting them planted out. Just so much happened this year, guys. Right, I'm hoping you've enjoyed today's little video, a bit of a change, actually doing some gardening. Hopefully we've salvaged a couple of plants. These will sulk for a week and then hopefully they'll get going again. But potentially we'll save 4 spring cabbages, and even if we pick the leaves off them, then it'll give us a continued harvest. But we'll see how they go first, or we'll just leave them to heart up for next year. And 1 or 2 might even survive in the growing area yet, but I doubt it very much the way they're getting attacked. Right guys, I'm going to give you a final roundup and then we're off home. Right guys, as you can see, the light's fading fast on me. I'm probably just going to have enough time for this roundup. So yeah, today has been a really productive day, and I didn't know either Tony or Michelle were coming up. They just arrived up to see how I was doing. And of course they both mucked in and gave me a hand. We had the grandchildren pulling weeds, we had Michelle doing the strawberry bed for me, and we had Tony finishing off that bench that I'd made a start on. And he had it completed. We've got all the plants back in, and we've stuffed a lot of stuff in just on the path again. Everything's a mad rush just to get finished for the day. We've got next weekend, we can start to tidy out what's to go, what we're keeping, etc. And while they were doing that, I had started on the strawberry bed, got halfway through, Michelle finished it off. And then I dug up a couple of those plants which I said I promised myself I was going to do. We've got them transplanted into the polytunnel bed. Fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. We might end them or mend them, one of the two. And then we've got some runners cut off from the Alsantas, and we've got those transplanted up as well. So fingers crossed, some of those will survive and see it through till next weekend. Depending on the weather, if we get a bright evening one day this week, I might just come up, give everything a watering again, just to keep them going until they get established. And yeah, hopefully everything will be fine for next weekend. Right guys, as always, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical, and keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for all your likes, dislikes, and comments that you leave in the sections below. I really do appreciate it, guys. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.